File a missing pants report. Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. As spawning in the top right hand corner. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our Peruvian Terran player, the Red Terran. Oh, playing out his final series here of the broadcast, representing Infernales Esports. It is NeO. NeO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Bolivian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Infernales Esports as well. It is RyoGin. We go. As we are setting up, and we did have Vortex opening up 2 base meter almost every game. I say almost every game because of course there was that one game in both series where he did open up Bane Bus instead, but he definitely had a certain style to him, not standard at all. Here, RyoGin is more of a standard player. I expect Hatch Gas Pull into a 3rd base, into Ling Bane, into maybe Ling Bane Hydra, or into Roach play. I don't really expect mutas out of RyoGin. He's not that kind of player. So we should be seeing a very different dynamic. As a result as well, I'm sure NeO is going to be much more comfortable against RyoGin, against a more standard player as well. But we'll see. What I can say for certain is most likely NeO is going to play mech. And this time he doesn't have to play battle mech. He can get into a more tank heavy composition if he so chooses to. RyoGin can be aggressive though. RyoGin, we have seen him go for roach all-ins in the past. RyoGin, I would say, is one of the more active players in the current tournament scene. In the Latin American scene, I should say. RyoGin is more active. Maybe the most active Zerg player currently, even more active than Cham. Like, I would say Cham is a stronger Zerg player in Latin America, but RyoGin does play in more tournaments. Maybe Eon as well. Eon, the Costa Rican Zerg. That's what I'm getting at, is that we've been covering RyoGin a lot more in recent times, in the recent year. On here he does poke in. Just in here he does poke in, checking for the 3rd base. We'll confirm the 3rd base has been taken. Settle into a much more standard game state. Send out an Amber Alert for the pants. Oh no. Aye. Where have they gone? Who has taken them? Who has taken all the pants? As NeO is going 3 CC before Starport. Again, economic opener out of NeO. From here we can go into Hellion Banshee. Or Hellion Liberator, followed by another factory, followed by mech, of course. Just poking in. Does poke in. Does catch one SCV, not bad. Takes down the SCV, gets a scout off, does confirm the 1-1 follow-up, and oh my god, that is not normal. We do have Overlord Speed on the way. Interesting. Now, I'm curious if this is just very safe play. He's staying in gas. Okay. He's staying in gas. In my mind, it would make the most sense to go Overlord Speed into Lair, into Dropalords. So we'll see if we go for the Lair after this Queen. As we've reached that 4-minute mark, we have the money for it. Yep, there it is. There's the Lair. Dropalords. This should be for Dropalords. And is RyoGin willing to go for, say, like a Ling Queen Dropalord all-in, or just Ling Harass? We'll see. Overlord Speed is revealed. Does confirm the 3cc. It's just really safe play. I mean, it's still a really fast Lair. There it is. Roach Speed. Roaches. So he's taking up into Roaches. So it looks like Overlord Speed was not for drop play, at least not yet. It was just for scouting. And again, at least NeO was aware that Overlord Speed is now done. This is typically a very inefficient way to play, just because you can get the same amount of scouting without Overlord Speed. The Overlord would die, of course, but you would get a full scout regardless. So just very safe play here out of RyoGin. Extra factories being thrown down, as we did mention, is going to be mech out of NeO. And RyoGin is droning. RyoGin is droning, is saturating, getting to his lair, getting to roach speed. And up, there are those drop lords. We called it earlier, and it's going to be delayed. I'm a little bit on the fence about this drop lord play just because overlord speed was already revealed, so NeO should be aware that something is wrong. Like as we mentioned, like overlord speed is not, you don't often get it this early on, and it's a sign of inefficiency unless you're going for drop lord play. And here comes the all in. It's going to be a roach queen all in. Drop lords, they load up all the queens, and roaches, they move forward. Let's go. So it's all or nothing for RyoGin. And NeO, he does not see this coming. He does. Oh, he's going double armory. Oh god. He's going double armory. He scans. Now he sees the lair. He sees the roach warren. Doesn't see much else. Turrets are being thrown down, and here we go. RyoGin, he's going for the kill. He's going for the throat. NeO, he didn't see this coming until it's been too late. Does have the banshees to defend. There is detection. Queen's dropped in. And the Roach Ravager will knock down that front door. He busts into the natural. Boy's being pulled away. NeO, he has to evacuate. He abandons the natural. There's no tanks. Without any tanks, how does he hold? He doesn't. But the tank is out in a couple of seconds. He also saves the boys. He saves the SCVs. Hellbat's morphing in. Tanks getting in position. Yeah, tanks are revealed. And RyoGin, it took too long. Did it take a little bit too long here? The pants are up, kind of. Ooh, he's heavily supply blocked. From here, RyoGin can just rotate. Yeah, he can rotate over. He can go straight for that third base. Yeah, it does go for the mineral line. Takes out all the SCVs. And he's spreading creep. He's spreading creep. Just being as annoying as possible. Oh. Yeah, I'm loving this drop as well, spreading creep at the third location. Just spreading creep at the natural, spreading creep at the third, and containing NeO. And yes, NeO, he does hold, he does survive. It was a good reaction out of NeO, but the problem is that he's stuck. He's contained. He's contained on one base. He's getting a fourth CC. He will eventually break out, but once he does, RyoGin, he can freely drone. He can freely drone, freely saturate. NeO is getting to a cyclone, still supply blocked. Trying to break out. We'll catch the queens. Queens are gonna fall. We have the Raven here for detection. Ah, that's still a lot of Roach Ravager though. Yeah, still a lot of Roach Ravager. And RyoGin, he's pushing up the ramp. He's going for the tank. Only one tank sieged. Only one tank. He's gonna get it. That tank goes down. Gets one, gets two, gets all three tanks. Ay, ay, ay. RyoGin, he busts into the main base. Boys are being pulled. NeO, he will survive this. He will clean this up, but at a cost. At a cost of 26 SCV. Oh, God. 28. 28 workers go down. Now, thankfully, there's still a Raven. With the Raven, we don't need scans, so the creep is going to be cleaned up. RyoGin behind this, going into mutas? Okay. okay. NeO, he still has PTSD from his last series. He's like, thank God I'm playing against RyoGin, who just, like, aced me with roaches. Thank God there's no mutas, right? Right? As mutas are coming. They're on the way. What's the anti-air looking like? There is one turret. There's one turret. No Cyclone. There's one Viking. No Thor. There's an auto turret, true. So there's one Viking. There's an auto turret. That's the anti-air. And here it comes. Here comes RyoGin. And dropping on the main army. And it looks like this time he will finally break NeO. Getting on top of the tanks. Going for the Viking as well. Knocking down any kind of anti-air. GG gets called, and RyoGin, he breaks the natural, and he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. He will take a lead in the series, and we'll see if NeO can bounce back. We shall see. Again, unfortunately, NeO, he was unable to really confirm what was going on. If you remember, he was unable to see the Roach move out, the main push. He did recognize Overlord speed at least, but didn't piece 2 and 2 together. And alas, it was that Queen Droplord all in with the Roaches. A bit of a German taxi. Bit of a German taxi here from RyoGin. And now we're getting into game number 2. Got to be loading into King's Cove. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have our Peruvian Terran player, the Red Terran representing Infernales Esports. It is NeO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from Bolivia, papi, representing Infernales Esports as well. It is RyoGin. Let's go. And now we're going to be loading into a much larger map in the map pool. Welcome one and all to King's Cove. Because of the size of the map, I do expect to see something more standard early on. We can try to rush into Mutaplay, rush into a faster tech, of course, but for the most part, this map is much more defendable on 2 and 3 bases. Unlike the previous map, here we have a ramp coming into the natural, but I would say a much more narrow ramp coming into the natural, much easier to defend, much easier to wall off. Likewise, a ramp coming into the 3rd base as well. So it can be very difficult to break a defending player on 3 bases. Very difficult. Likewise, because of the size of the map, reinforcements take a long time to get across as well. We did see that Vortex did break NeO on this map with Ling Bane Hydra with a 2.5 base all in. If you remember, Vortex did not drone his 3rd. He only made a handful of workers here and did commit. But that was also a more unique style as well. It was overly muta-based opener. It was crazy. So we'll see what RyoGin has for us this time. SCV does dip in. We'll confirm the hatch opener. So he does spot the timing, is aware of the hatch gas pool, does confirm, should be feeling safe. Oh no. Points at the pants. Where did they go? Where did they go? As NeO, he does pull back. Second, oh sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We do have our natural on the way. Rax into factory, standard follow-up. Reaper is moving out. And the dance will begin between the Reaper and the Lings. So far, it does actually find them. It does run into Lings, will shut them down, gets one. Going for the other. So not a bad catch here from NeO. The other 2 do move out across the map. Likewise, RyoGin getting his 3rd on location. NeO getting his 3rd base in his main, going for a 3cc build, 3cc into Banshee. Standard opener out of NeO. Ooh, RyoGin doesn't pull out. He does not pull out a gas. Yo, what's with the Zerg players today? What's going on? If I was casting Vortex, I'd be like, okay, 2 base Muta. I'd be like, 2 base Muta, it's coming, it's happening. This could be 2 base Muta, just like the last game. Oh, same build actually. Same build. He stays in gas, rushes into Overlord speed. This leads into a faster lair. And this can once again lead into a Droplord based all-in, into another German taxi. Okay, RyoGin. Okay, let's go. Does seem like the no! Does seem like the same build. Reaper gets shut down and no scout into the main. NeO's in the dark. NeO, he is in the dark. Behind this, still opening up. Hellion Banshee. Getting ready for the add-on swap. Now, I will still stand by that these all-ins are weaker on this map just because it takes longer to get across the map, but we'll see if RyoGin does commit. As we should be seeing that lair. Overlord dives in for the scout, does confirm the 3rd CC and the 111. Sees everything in the main. And RyoGin, there we go. This is a later layer. This was at 4:18. This is a 4:18 layer timing. Last game, this was at around 4 minutes, or like just under 4 minutes. So this is a later response. It was also a bit of a later scout. There's that Roach Warren. It is still the same build, but it does seem a little bit less refined this time. But part of it may just be because of the size of the map and just the later scout into the main. As NeO is going to be opening up Hellion Banshee. Going into bio? NeO. Is that... Oh, wait, no. Okay. Wait, what? we have a second... He is getting into mech, but he's making stim. I guess just for show. But, like, who's going to believe that? No shot. Like, there we go. He does cancel stim. But, I mean, Pappy, you're NeO. Like, who are you trying to fool? Does RyoGin fall for... I mean, RyoGin, he saw the second factory. He saw the second factory. Hopefully he clicked on it, so he should realize it's a fake out. Ooh, double Evo chamber on the way. Not going for the Dropper Lords. Yeah, RyoGin, he's not going for the all-in. Going for Mutas, going for the Spire. Taking all of his gases. A different response. Very different. And even though he made the Roach Warren, he's not making any roaches. 0 roaches here from RyoGin. Scan reveals the Spire. He sees. He knows. He spots the Spire. He sees the gases. We'll be getting ready back at home. RyoGin, does he cancel? He knows he's been spotted. He knows that NeO knows, but NeO knows that he knows that he knows. Roach speed. I like this. Roach speed is on the way. I wouldn't be opposed to making only like 5 mutas to one-shot SCVs to harass and then just building up Roach Ravager instead. Speaking of, NeO does call his bluff and he's building up tanks, not Cyclones. He's not going to Cyclone production, he's going to tanks instead. NeO calling RyoGin's bluff. Getting ready for Roaches, not getting ready for mutas for the time being. Double armory, jeez. Double armory on the way. Very greedy here from NeO. Now he's going to Cyclones. Hellions are being active, and we can see that RyoGin, he didn't really make too many mutas. Again, he's spending gas on what? Spending gas on Roach speed, spending gas on Roaches, on +1 range. He is making a handful of mutas, but it's mainly going to be a Roach-based composition. And on the one hand, I do like this from RyoGin, but NeO is reading him well. At least it feels to be the case. He's getting a couple of Thors, but they can also be relatively effective against Roaches. Thors are building up. Very fast infestation pit out of RyoGin. Is he willing to go into Swarm Host? Against mech, Swarm Host, they have their place. They have their place against mech, especially on larger armies. Swarm Hosts are going to be viable. As mutas, they hit the field. We have 5 more mutas on the way. Oof. They're going to be shut down. You're only getting 1 SCV. Yeah, 1 SCV, they get the Viking. Ooh, as the mutas, they barely escape, not losing a single muta. Very, very fortunate trade there for RyoGin. Does pull away in time. Whew. NeO getting a center expansion. Building up more tanks. I mean, he also saw the muta count, so he knows that the muta count is very low. We know that there are 5 more on the way, so the muta count is slowly building up. But it's still more of an afterthought, and we have melee upgrades. Looks like the infestation bit was for not Swarm Host, but for the Hive. So Hive is on the way. RyoGin spreads out all of his overlords. Nice vision here so far. Hellions, they get spotted. Oh! As soon as they run into the Thor. RyoGin backs off. A second Spire? Wait, what? So, it isn't the second Spire that's weirding me out. It's the Spire plus the Hydra Den. He's getting everything. Getting the Hydra Den, Roach Warren, double Spire, a Hive on the way, Infestation Pits. I would have assumed that this was to get into Broodlords, but again, the Hydra Den, and now Lurker. It's just getting everything. It's just, why not? Just throw down everything, Pappy. Let's go. Let's go. As we just say, dive in towards that natural. Greater Spire is on the way. And Lurkers as well. Hi. What are we missing? Ultra Cavern. I think that's the only thing we're missing. Where are the Ultras? As we just, ooh, they do take a lot of hits. Take a lot of damage. I mean, RyoGin, he is maxing out. Unfortunately, he's maxed out on a very roach-heavy composition. I'm not too fond of the idea of going Lurker against a very heavy mech-based composition like this. It can be quite difficult, especially against a lot of tanks. But you could argue that maybe there are too many Thors. We'll see what kind of army RyoGin pieces together, because he's getting all the upgrades. Getting all the upgrades, diving forward. Again, the tank count is low. Yeah, with the low tank count, the first tank is going to get bowed down. Second tank as well. Oh, the miles they miss. Miles they did miss for a moment. Oh, he still breaks through. He still breaks through the first line of tanks. Takes down the Thor. Going for the planetary. And the planetary, can he bring it down? It's getting close. He will not. Yeah, planetary will survive. And NeO holds. Yeah, he holds on. And now RyoGin can remax. What does he remax on? Corruptor Hydra. God damn it. Okay. So he's going Lurker Broodlord, which kind of is like the ultimate anti-ground army, but that's more ideal against Protoss. I'm still not entirely convinced against Terran, but I mean, it can, you know, it can kind of work. There we go. Lunkers are on the way. Getting his Lunkers. Greater Spire is done. Getting to those upgrades. It might just be like Roach, Hydra, Lurker for now, and maybe Broodlords once the upgrades are a little bit better. Corruptors, they kind of have their place a little bit here against the Vikings and against the Banshees. I mean, you could argue if there were no Corruptors and the Vikings couldn't do anything, but but it's fine. But the tank count is getting higher, and the reality is that tanks, they do shut down Lurkers quite hard. Yeah, it is going to be Lurker. It's going to be Lurker Broodlord. Scan reveals the army composition. Again, it's a bit of a kitchen sink, bit of everything. Ling, Roach, Ravager, Hydra, Lurker, Corrupted Broodlord. Let's go. No spellcasters. That's my biggest concern. You can try to make these unit compositions work, and they can with Viper support, with Abductions, Blinding Clouds. But zero spellcasters here, outside of the Ravagers, of course, which are kind of spellcasters, kind of. Bowser connects. RyoGin rotates. Again, the siege line here is looking solid. I'll be honest, I do favor NeO when it comes to this next fight. First Lurker goes down. Takes on the first, takes on the second, and the third. The Lurkers, yeah, they do nothing. Again, in general, like Lurkers, they do struggle against mech, but there's no scan. Okay. There we go. Lurker count gets reset. Now here come the Vipers. And again, what's concerning me here is that, you know, you may be thinking, oh, it was only 4 Lurkers, but the Lurker upgrades were invested into the tech as well. Yeah, Broodlords get caught out. The entire army just crumbles here. NeO, he takes the fight. Again, RyoGin, it's just the army doesn't really, it's not too cohesive here. He's now remaxing with more Hydra Lurker. This time Hydra Lurker Viper. Vipers will help immensely. But the Viking count is concerning. Yeah, NeO, he has momentum. He has momentum, he's moving in. Catching out the Corruptors ahead of time. Yeah, Corruptors are going to be falling. More Vikings rocking up. Oof. And here come those tanks. And NeO finally getting into the swing of things here. He can finally play some StarCraft. Blinding Cloud on the first wave of tanks. Yeah, good Blinding Clouds. They do connect, but the Thors, they hold their own. They're trying to at least. Nice clean up here. They're going to get all the tanks. The tank count is going to be reset. RyoGin, he takes the fight. But this was an expensive trade, as I believe he lost every single Viper. Yeah, the Viper count is reset. No more Vipers. No more Spellcasters. And RyoGin, he needs to rebuild them. He needs those Vipers. Again, it was a good fight, but mainly because of the Blinding Clouds. And he needs those Blinding Clouds. NeO is still making more Thors. I'm not too fond of this, but it does look like NeO is just really terrified about a Broodlord switch, about a Broodlord transition. I mean, there's still a couple of Corruptors, so there's like validation there to be that afraid. But against Roach Hydra Lurker, like, you need tanks. Tanks are necessary. RyoGin is rotating. Rotating towards the left-hand side. A couple of tanks on the way. Oh. Now the CC. RyoGin is getting into 3-3 air upgrades, so again, he's going to be ready for a potential Broodlord switch in the future. After the next big fight. So basically, for the next fight, if RyoGin is able to reset the Thor count, then he can go into Broodlords. If he doesn't, then he should be sticking with Hydra Lurker. So we'll see how it goes. And again, my biggest concern were the Vipers. Oh, wait, ¿a dónde están los Vipers, Pat? He lost the Vipers earlier and he never rebuilt them. And without Vipers, there's no pushing into this. Like, there's no shot. From the high ground. Let's go.
Base is under
attack. Lurker's
attack.
going to go down. We do see RyoGin attempting a counterattack. Here he does push forward. And there's not many Lurkers in position. There's what, 2 Lurkers? Oh, good. Yeah, breaks through the defensive line. Lurkers go down. NeO breaks through. And where are the rest of the Lurkers here? They're across the map. Yeah, there's 2 Lurkers on the right. There's 3 Lurkers on the left. They are not in position to defend. Yeah, RyoGin out of position. He's morphing in Broodlords against all these Thors. Broodlords, that's not it. That's not the answer. Yeah, tanks are pushing forward. Again, to break these Lurker lines, tanks, they make this a little bit easier. Yeah, tanks are sieging up. Lurker goes down. Lurkers attempt to harass. Expansion pulls. Yeah, we did mention it's like Broodlords have their place only if the Thor count gets whittled away at, but the Thor count is still very healthy. Very healthy Thor counts. Now we have some Vipers. 4 Vipers here for RyoGin. He can abduct. Can abduct. Speaking of, oh, gets 1. Gets 1 Thor. Powerbomb on the Vikings. Nice split there from NeO. Kind of. Takes some bits on the lid. Nice abductions. He gets 2 more Thors. 3 in total. Okay. He's thinning out the Thor counts. As we mentioned, Thor count gets lower. We can get into more Broods. Ooh, that was a high energy. Oh no! The Vipers! The Vipers overextend, and now there's no Vipers left. No energy here on the final Viper. It goes down as well. No more abductions. No more blinding clouds. Oh god, no, we cannot push in. And RyoGin, he cannot engage. Missile goes off. NeO, he can move in. NeO, he can be more assertive here. As he's now reinforcing. Getting into more Vikings, more Thors. Tanks are moving in. Oh, and RyoGin's gonna lose this army. Yeah, the Broodlords get targeted down. Losing one, losing two. And NeO is snowballing out of control. He breaks down that center expansion. We have more Broodlords on the more Broodlords on the way. Let's go. How many Thors are there? There's 5. 5 Thors. Up against soon to be 7 Broodlords. There are Vikings as well, bear that in mind. There's no Corruptors to support. The Vikings, they just go to town. Lurkers have been catching reinforcements. Broodlords moving in, but here come the Vikings. Oh, there's that one Corruptor. Oh, Vikings, they do rush past those Hydras. Hydras will clean this up, and the Thors are out of position. Yeah, Thors are too far behind. They're not a factor in the fight, and RyoGin, he will hold. Whew. He will hold on. Cleans up the army. NeO's in trouble. Again, the army control here was lacking. Like, he mispositioned his Vikings. The Thors were too far behind. RyoGin, he breaks out. And he will take down the planetary. And again, remember, NeO, he has a massive bank. NeO, he has 7k, 4k in the bank, but it takes a long time to rebuild. After losing a fight like that as quickly as he did, it takes a long time to rebuild. NeO needs time here. And RyoGin is going for the kill. He's going for the kill. Takes down 1, takes down 2 planetaries. NeO trying to reinforce. Getting caught out in the open. Nice pickups here on some of those broods. There's the scan. And there's the scan. NeO, he's barely holding on, but he lost 30 SCVs. He's holding though. And again, he just has to remax. He hasn't spent his money. He has to macro back. Not there. There we go. Getting more tanks, more Thors. NeO, he does hold on. And RyoGin is broke. RyoGin, he has no mineral bank. He has gas, that is true, but he has no minerals. RyoGin, he needs more damage. If he can knock down this CC, which is not a planetary, by the way, RyoGin, he can actually overwhelm NeO. He's going for it. Going for the CC. NeO out of position. Mineral line's going to go down. Massive pickoff. And yes, NeO has a bank, but I mean, the bank is finite. He's losing bases. Losing his economy. And RyoGin just has to keep counterattacking. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Send it. NeO, he turns back around. Has to deal with this. Going into the mineral line. Getting into the planetary. Planetary is going to be targeted down, but the repairs are good enough. NeO, he does hold. RyoGin, we need to keep doing this. We need to just keep counterattacking. We cannot defend against this army. We cannot allow NeO to push out. RyoGin, we can't let this happen. But I mean, he barely has a force to work with. Here comes NeO. NeO, he's now maxed. He's now remaxed. Got a massive amount of Thors, tanks, Hellbats. NeO, he's ready. Things were looking shaky when he lost 2 bases, but NeO, now he's secure. He's secure. He's coming in. He's coming. Takes down the hatchery, catches out the lurkers. NeO, the pants are up, Pappy. The pants are up. They're secure. He's good to go. And this time there's no Broodlords, right? There's no Broodlords. There's limited lurkers. And again, lurkers, they don't trade well against tanks. They just get outranged and outperformed. Tanks, they have the superior siege units. And RyoGin is just being overwhelmed. Attempting a run by, attempting a counterattack. Yo, we got some BCs. Nice positioning here, getting on top of the high ground. Catching out a couple of tanks, but BCs have arrived. They're just going into mass BC, making 3 BCs at a time. And it's a good position there for RyoGin, but he's losing bases. Losing bases, just he cannot afford. If NeO wanted to, he could just keep going in towards the main bases, but just going for the fringe expansions for now. Going for the hatcheries, he scans. Again, NeO, he doesn't want to overextend. Oh no, the drones! They try to escape. There is no escape. There's no getting out of this. A handful of them do slip away, but NeO is going to chase them down. RyoGin going for a run by. Coming into the planetary. Drones are cleaned up. Planetary does get surrounded. And he will get it. Takes down the base, takes out a mineral line. Yeah, late reaction there from NeO. NeO pulling back. Does pull back. At least with the reinforcements. Still moving forward with his main army. And RyoGin, what does he have? He has one Broodlord. Oh no. But I say one Brood. Nah, 0. Down to 0. Missile goes up. And NeO, he's going to clean up. He's going for the kill at this point. I mean, he already has. There's barely anything left. A couple of Hydras. A couple of Lings. Did have a back and forth. But again, RyoGin had a really odd approach when it came to his army composition. That's what I will say. If you recall, like, he had like a couple of Broodlords at a time, then into Lurker attack, then into some Vipers only sometimes. And GG gets called, and NeO, he does fight back, does put a point on the board. GG. Whew. Let's go. Let's go, Pappy, let's go. GG, well played, does tie things up. Again, RyoGin, unfortunately, I will say that the best moments in this game for RyoGin were when he had his spellcasters. There were 2 moments. There were 2 fights where he actually had 4 Vipers. He was able to abduct, able to blinding cloud, and he had some really strong moments with that. But if you remember, every time that he lost the Vipers, he never replaced them. He never did replace them. It took him a long time to actually get back into Vipers after losing the first pack. And without his spellcasters, again, he just had a really hard time engaging with the mech army. Likewise, also really awkward composition as well, like going back and forth between like Lurkers and Broodlords. It was, yeah, very expensive doing so as well, which came into play as RyoGin did run out of money, did run out of resources, and with that, GG. GG, well played. NeO does fight back, and we're going into game number 3. Going to be loading into Amygdala, and this is the only series so far tonight that has been a back and forth. We've had some very close games and close series, but they've all been 3-0s. Until now. Here it's going to be a 2-1 scoreline. Which way is it going to go? Let's go. Let's go. When the pants are down, all reasoning is out the window. No. Buen día, papi. Ah, buen día, buen día. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Poggers, we got options. I mean, there's having options, and there's what RyoGin did, which was crazy. It's crazy. Let's go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Peruvian Terran player, the Red Terran representing Infernales Esports. It is NeO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Bolivia, representing Infernales Esports as well. It is RyoGin. We go. As NeO, he was finally able to like settle into the mid game in that last game against RyoGin. If you recall, against Vortex, we had non-stop 2-base Muta, non-stop all-ins, hyper aggression from Vortex. Likewise, we had an all-in from RyoGin in game 1 as well. And it was the one and only game that NeO got into the mid game where he was able to win. Like, he was like, finally, I can make units. I can be on a 3-base economy. It was crazy. And NeO did overwhelm. Can he get here? Can he get there on Amygdala? That's the question. Now, coming into Amygdala, it is a large map. It is a large map in the map pool. It can be difficult to be aggressive on this map. This map is known for longer, later games. So NeO, he is a mech player. I do favor NeO coming into a map like Amygdala, but we'll see how RyoGin will approach this, because RyoGin has not been standard. If you recall, every game so far, he has gone Ling speed into Overlord speed into Lair, and from there he has options. From there, RyoGin can go into a Drop Lord German Taxi all-in, he can go into Roach play into the mid game, he can go into Mutas, into Spire. RyoGin is just very tech heavy early on and very aggressive, and we'll see what he does with that. I'm also assuming he doesn't pull out of gas, which he hasn't been doing so far in this series. So it's been a very unique style here by RyoGin. Reaper moves out, RyoGin confirms the Rax expand, standard opener out of NeO. RyoGin, you can see here, Ling speed, and he stays in gas. And for those that maybe weren't here for the rest of the series, this is for Overlord speed. He goes Link speed, then Overlord speed, then around a 4-minute layer timing. As he just stays in. He just takes all the gas. Meanwhile, we do have NeO dancing with the Lings. Shuts them down. Third base is on the way. NeO behind this going 3cc, 3cc, 1-1-1 out of NeO. Standard opener out of our Terran player. This should lead into mech. It should be the direction here of NeO. Oh. As Reaper does pull away. RyoGin, he does have his 100 gas. We should be seeing Overlord speed momentarily. As Lings, they dip in. They take down the Marine. They're going for the mineral line here. NeO out of position. The Reaper's not at home. Oh, and this is getting out of hand. 2 SCV kills already. Very nice damage here by RyoGin. Going for the Mule, denying mining time. And even delaying the add-ons. Oh god, oh god. Delays the add-on swap. Yeah, brutal damage here. RyoGin having a very nice start. Behind this, he has almost 300 gas. RyoGin, he was hyper-fixated here on the harassment. And where are we going? Ooh. Early Roach Warren. Remember, I had assumed it was going to be Overlord speed into a lair. Not the case. Early Roach Warren into a Roach bush. I mean, RyoGin, he has momentum. He's getting another SCV. Where are they? I mean, the Hellions were delayed. The add-on swap was delayed. The Hellions were delayed. Everything is late here for NeO. And here is NeO. He is struggling. Lings, they go back in. NeO, he has to respond. Cannot afford to get surrounded. And Lings, they attempt to run by. Oh, speaking of, collapses in. Takes down the gas, guys, are not bad. Takes down the gas, that is important here as we are trying to get into mech, a very gas-heavy composition. And here comes the all-in. Here, it's all or nothing for RyoGin. You're getting up to 2 gases, getting up to almost 2 base saturation, at least 2 base mineral line saturation. 37 drones, and Mass Roach. Mass Roach is on the way. No lair, no Roach speed, no Dropper Lords, just pure vanilla Roaches. And they're coming. They're moving out. And the problem is, because of all the chaos, because all the damage that's been done, NeO sees nothing. NeO, he sees nothing across the map. He's stuck at home. The Ling aggression has been non-stop, so NeO, he's afraid to move out. He scans. He sees. He sees the Roach Warren, but he doesn't see the lack of lair. This doesn't look too committed. This doesn't look too scary. NeO, he throws down more factories, and here comes the all-in. The all-in has arrived. There's no bunker, no Sim City. Hellions respond. RyoGin moving in. He's going for the kill. He's going for the kill. NeO, he does evacuate in time. He has to pull the boys. Oh, the Miles! Miles don't quite connect. They force back the Hellions. SCVs are going down. The Banshees eventually will kill everything. But damage is being done. Nice wall. Does lift in time. But the Deeper's being knocked down. RyoGin does waddle in. Stutter steps forward. Busts into the base. He hasn't dealt enough damage yet. He's killed 12 SCVs. But now more are going to be falling. Yeah, more workers are going to be going down. Nice positioning here from RyoGin. Using SimCity against him. Against NeO. Taking down 18 as the miles. Oh my god. Taking down 22 SCVs. And NeO, he will hold, he will defend, but at a cost. Now he's down 10 workers. He lost his Hellions. Losing even more SCVs here on the low ground. Down to 23. Now, he does have mules, and he does have a 3rd orbital, true. This is actually reminding me of Game 3 between NeO and Vortex, where Vortex also did similar damage. Vortex, I think he did more damage even, but Vortex, he was able to cripple the economy and contain NeO on one base. Here, NeO, he should be faster to expand at the natural, but Lings, they flood in once again. They surround. Yeah, they surround the Hellion. Hellion goes down. Lings, they get into the middle line. Even more damage is being done. This should not have happened. This second wave is brutal. Getting another 5 SCVs. NeO, he was recovering. He was recovering. He was bouncing back in the process of. And RyoGin, what does he go for? Lair into Spire, into Mutas. So he's switching into Mutas. RyoGin, he's still not droning. RyoGin, he's still staying on a very low drone count, 40 workers. He was at 37 for the all-in. Now he made a couple of drones. Now taking up. There are spores in position. No spore at the third yet. Banshees are moving out. Banshees move out, and NeO, he is not ready for Mutas. These Banshees, they need a scout. They check the third. They confirm saturation. Going for the Queen. Queen does get away. Oh, spoke too soon. Queen goes down. Likewise, oh god, the third wave has arrived. Forget about the Mutas, we're just going in with the Roach Ravager. We get a surround, one tank goes down. Boys are being pulled, second tank is gonna fall. There's one tank left. And again, he's racing back home with the Banshees. He was vulnerable. Vials on the tank, no! Cannot escape. Vials bring it down. And NeO, he's not holding this. Not this time. This is just far too much damage. There's one more tank remaining. Lings, they flood in. The wall is going to be broken. And RyoGin, he busts into the main. GG gets called. He overwhelms. And RyoGin, he will take the series at 2-1. Whew. GG. GG. Well played, RyoGin. He will claim the series. NeO just unable to get into his own games here. Again, only once here tonight was he able to get into the mid game. Every other game, just non-stop all-ins or hyper-aggression. NeO, he just wasn't able to get comfortable against Vortex or even against RyoGin, except for that one game on King's Cove. There, NeO could thrive. He was able to thrive, able to overwhelm, able to max out with his mech army. But outside of that, he was denied that in all these other games. GG. GG, well played. Whew. That is going to wrap up our group. That is going to wrap up our group here for tonight's broadcast. Ooh. As we catch up on the matches of this evening. Again, a lot of 3-0s. Now, despite the scoreline, despite all these 3-0s, a lot of these games, a lot of these series were very, very close. We had NeO versus ShiftClick in the first round, ShiftClick versus Vortex, Vortex versus Draconics versus NeO, and then RyoGin versus NeO at the end. And again, it was great to see Vortex once again. Vortex, he is a legend in SE2. He retired many years ago, back in 2016. So he has been out of the game for 9 years. And he is back, at least for this tournament. He's back for this tournament. It's great to see him return here after such a long hiatus. Is he only back for the tournament? Is he going to return for even more StarCraft? Yet to be determined. Like, he's quite successful in AoE 4. He's quite successful in AoE 4, so I don't know if he's too incentivized to make a full return, but it's still great to see him in this tournament nonetheless. It's still great to see him. As Vortex does come out in first place. Vortex, he does come out of the group in first place. And when it comes to who comes out in second place, again, it was a little more competitive. We had RyoGin, we had NeO, we had Draconics. I will say that technically this group isn't finalized because there are still some matches that have not been played. I believe Draconics versus NeO and Draconics versus RyoGin still have not played out. Remember, just to wind it back here, these matches are played ahead of time and replays are submitted to the casters. So replays are submitted over time, and the group stage concludes in a couple of weeks. So we still have a couple of weeks left of the group stage. Some of the groups are done, and we've already casted them. Group A to D. Group A to D we already covered, but some of these later groups, they still have a couple of ongoing matches, so we haven't finalized them completely yet, but we do know that Vortex makes it through. Vortex, he is 100% making it out in first place. Right now, there is still contention between RyoGin and Draconics to make it out in second place, so there's still a little bit of variability there to find out who else makes it through. Regardless, GG. Regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations here to Vortex, and a shout out to all the others. Like, again, I had a blast. If you missed out on the matches, I do still think that the highlight of the broadcast was Vortex versus Draconics. Vortex versus Draconics, it was crazy. it was wild. So it was a beautiful series, and I do recommend it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, and make sure you tune in later on this week for some more HSL, for some more Hispanic StarCraft 2 League. Again, we are going to be covering Group G next. Switching on over, bam! you can see the updated group here. Group G, we have Tavito. Oh my god, we have Tavo versus Mike Savage, Eva, Cristo Dorado. We have Cristo Dorado versus Hunter as well. We have a lot of matches coming up in Group G. That is what we're going to be covering later on in the week. Quickly checking our schedule. Bam, there you go. As you can see here, we just wrapped up with our Tuesday broadcast with the Hispanic Star League. That was Tuesday evening. Tomorrow we're live with Code for Giants Cup and the Rex March Madness. Thursday we're live with Turtle Tussle and the Pondcast. And Friday, that is Group G. Friday we're live with the HSL with Group G. Gonna be covering David. So 2 groups this week. I think we have 2 groups left after this, and we're going to be covering those groups next week. We also have the Host Open on Saturday. We have SCL on Sunday. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup, as always, on a weekly basis. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. You can see that we have 2 half days off. I will be filling up that Saturday slot with another broadcast. Most likely either a StarCraft Evolution show match, Hero and Beyond, they had a show match, so we're most likely going to cover that there. Otherwise, we could cover Kung Fu Cup. Kung Fu Cup is another event that we couldn't cast. Right now, Kung Fu Cup is actually clashing with the Rex March Madness, so they're both at the same time, and we can only cast one. So we're going to be casting the Rex March Madness, and we'll have to catch up with the Kung Fu Cup another day. We'll catch up. Bye, mech. Didn't get into his mech. But yeah, with that, GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. And again, this is the Hispanic StarCraft 2 League. This is a big group stage into the playoff bracket. This is a league funded by the community, for the community. A big shout out to specifically the Spanish community for hosting and for funding this. The members or the viewers and watchers of Bond, of Protosito, of the Novak, of Enki as well. A lot of content creators did collaborate to make this a reality, and a lot of support for the event. A lot of support, and most likely there's going to be a season 2. Most likely. So there's going to be a second season of this event, so do look forward to it. Otherwise, as you can see, we have plenty of content on the channel. If you cannot watch this live, if you want to tune into the VODs of these events, then check out our YouTube. !socials in the chat. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content on YouTube. We cast more than any other channel out there. So there's plenty of content, plenty of coverage. We do all the StarCraft and even more than that. That's all the content, all the casting, all the StarCraft. Again, our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow morning. That is going to be in around 9 hours. In around like 8-ish hours, 8 hours time, 9 hours time. We're going to be live with Code for Giants Cup. If you're curious, what is Code for Giants Cup? That is a bi-weekly Brazilian tournament. Tournament for Brazilian players. So featuring players like Inexorable, Master, Allison, Dorminoco, and Eric. Eric, of course, the CranKy Duckling himself. Going to be featuring him tomorrow morning. So we got you covered there. So do tune in to Code for Giants Cup. Otherwise, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for watching. We do appreciate it. You can support us via Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our patrons, by the way. We did get a new patron last night, and because of that, we are one step closer to our next goal. 100% of the money on Patreon, it all goes towards our tournaments. It all goes towards the players. So if you want to support our tournaments, if you want to support StarCraft, specifically these events, bam, on my right, Sea Duckling Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and Master Swan Open. These are the regular events that we do host, and these are the events that are funded via Patreon. You can support those events via Patreon as well. Our next goal is to boost the prize pool of Sparkling Tuna Cup even further, and it's large enough where it's been attracting some more players. Like, we have all of our regulars in Sparkling Tuna Cup, like Geralt, Christianer, Björn, Nightmare, Shin, but now, because the prize pool has been increasing, we've had more regulars like Skillus, like Solar, like Bunny as well, Ryung. Ryung was more of a regular beforehand, but again, more players are being drawn towards our events thanks to the growth of the prize pool and thanks to the growth of the tournaments. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'm sure the players appreciate it as well. Players do appreciate it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We're going to be wrapping up here for the evening, and we're going to be back in 8 hours time or 9 hours time with our next broadcast. So do tune into that. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your night, rest of your day. Hope you have a great week as well. And take care out there. Be careful when it comes to laddering. Don't smooch too hard. Don't smooch. Smooch in bite-sized amounts. Take care of yourselves. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Till then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.